Now the Niners are on to plan C. This year they finally figured it out. Enough of Jimmy. It's time to get a new plan. And according to Kyle Shanahan, who went on Sean McVay's podcast this week, he said that when he found out that Matthew Stafford was available this offseason, he spent 2 weeks studying him and preparing to get him and was under the impression that they were going to make a strong bid for him and was crushed when the Rams got him. So plan C was to go after Stafford, and again, the Niners couldn't pull the trigger, and that led them to Trey Lance. In this case, I think actually is probably a good thing they didn't get Matt Stafford. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Matt Stafford is like an upgrade in every single way from Cousins. And I think that's what makes him so attractive to Shanahan, is that he would get somebody who can be a pocket passer, who is durable, is tough. He's the opposite of Jimmy Garoppolo in a lot of ways. And I think it's an answer to the fan base, an answer to the state of the franchise. And it would have given us some direction, and we would have built the team differently. But Trey Lance gives us longevity and more direction. And I really think probably just as much toughness.
Yes. So it took the 49ers whiffing on Mahomes, whiffing on Watson, putting their sights on Cousins, giving up on Cousins, panicking for Garoppolo, giving up on Josh Allen, saying no to Tom Brady, striking out on Matthew Stafford, just to get Trey Lance, who might have been the perfect quarterback for them all along. It just shows if life is funny. You can't really plan these things. It's not necessarily who has the best plan all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think it was in their plan whatsoever. It fell this way. And I think Trey Lance came up on the radar a lot later in this whole sequence of events. Really just the last year, I want to say.
No question. I mean, I'm thinking this offseason, Kyle Shanahan went from...
Yeah, they didn't know. They did not know it was going to be him.
I'd like Stafford to maybe I'd like Deshaun Watson to, okay, those are not options anymore. What are my options? Okay, this
maybe
kid from Fargo.
Team that Mac Jones got was more like Mac Jones is another Kirk Cousins as far as a safe bet. Mm-hmm. That's what they think. And I think it was a vanilla choice, to use a word from my industry. It was a vanilla choice to go with him. And I have to give them credit. I don't think York, Lynch, or Shanahan were willing to make another easy decision like that. They went with someone with extreme upside that checks the boxes of the people who have been defeating them.
Also, I think it took the previous 4 years of wandering through the desert. You know what I'm saying?
Most coaching staffs don't get.
That's right. It took those 4 years of mistakes at quarterback for the 49ers to grow and to get it right, because Trey Lance is so not their profile of quarterbacks. I mean, every single quarterback they've gotten from 2017 to now has been unlike him. And finally, they're like, you know what? We need a guy who can create off schedule, who can thrive under chaos. Finally.
And I think he plays towards Kyle Shanahan because I think he's going to make that chaos.
Yes.
I think Kyle Shanahan has the opportunity to make an absolutely onslaught of an offense, especially around the run and the play action.
Okay, so I want to do one more thing before we move on, because I like talking quarterbacks, and this is something we were talking earlier. Impromptu topic, bonus topic, double jeopardy.
Bring it on.
The similarities and differences between Patrick Mahomes and Trey Lance, in your opinion. Because again, the Niners could have had Patrick Mahomes. They end up with Trey Lance, who's got probably just as much raw physical gifts, but they're slightly different. So how would you compare them and contrast them?
So I've only seen his single season tape when it comes to Trey Lance. Let's go with the similarities first, because I think it's very easy for anyone to spot those. And I think the number one thing is the off schedule, the ability to basically get outside the pocket. Maybe it was a design run. Maybe it was a read option or something like that. But the ability to see something develop and go for it.
Yeah.
Somebody we're used to, the more stand in the pocket kind of quarterback. It's not like these two where they might stick to the plan more.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes proved in the Super Bowl and in many other games he can go way off schedule and make throws that the defensive backs are not prepared for.
Yes.
I think Trey Lance will bring some of that to the team. Now, in that similarity, there's a difference, at least at this juncture.
Yes.
Trey Lance does not have his touch yet.
No.
You documented it pretty heavily, but you know, PFF also talked about it as well with the pre-draft video that they did, where they talked about the fact that when he misses, it's high.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, as a junior defensive back, I love that.
Yeah.
Because it allows you to play a little bit more zone with a strong safety, or depending if you're doing single high, whatever. It allows you to put someone behind, shadowing the receiver. And if you look at his college tape, they bite on that sometimes.
Yes.
Also, high throws are tip balls. Sometimes
Yes.
receivers, sometimes they have to learn to let things go because when they tip the ball, it's an easy pick at that point.
Yes.
As they say, I mean, John Madden was my favorite guy growing up. As he said, tip balls are interceptions usually.
True. And the thing about Mahomes is he has a ton of touch. He's not really known
Yeah, he
for it.
can dunk the ball.
Feathery.
And he's got a great. I love his touch on the laces. His it's artistic to watch his touch with where the laces and his fingers go and everything like that. He spins it when he needs to. He can dump a goose egg when he wants to, but it's right in your basket basically. I mean, he's capable of just shoveling the ball, slinging the ball. His arm angles are amazing sometimes.
He can throw left-handed a little bit.
Right. Well, yeah, Teddy Bridgewater tried that against us. It didn't work out. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for that interception. But anyway, that's something that I do like about Mahomes. Trey Lance, I think he can develop that, but I think Mahomes had it before him.
Yes. Okay, so the difference is?
That's the difference and the similarity there. So the other similarity is I think that Trey Lance is pretty cerebral. They say he's a very smart quarterback, and if there's one thing about Mahomes I will say first is his brain.
Yes.
He sees the field well, and that's not just athletic abilities. That's intellect. The ability to process information quickly is what the IQ test is all about. It's not that the questions are hard. It's that you have to 1, 2, 3 answer very quickly. Be able to access your playbook in your head and immediately go to the receiver or come up with something off schedule that you have to do. That's where I think Trey Lance is also. He's a junior Mahomes in that, but I think he's really good at that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it will get him into trouble as much as it will bail us out. I think we're going to see some bonehead tip pass interceptions from him. Don't jump on that, anyone. Yeah. It's not worth saying, oh, he's young or he's not good. No, I really think he's someone that is going to drop a couple bombs in the middle of the game, lay a couple eggs, but it's not going to be devastating because he's got the ability to pull the scheme back together. I think his durability and his mental toughness is another thing he has in common with Mahomes.
Yes, I agree. I think another thing people compare between them is their athleticism, and they're both very athletic.
Outside the pocket stuff, yeah.
The way they run, they have a different mentality, wouldn't you say?
Trey Lance, okay, yes, they do, but this is something Trey Lance is better in, hands down. Yes. If any of you have not watched his college tape, you need to watch him. It's like he must have played Madden 97 on Sega Genesis. He does the whole thing of pulling the ball up high, rotating it, to get it away from the defender side and putting his hand out like he's some kind of running back.
Yes.
I mean, I've watched him lower his helmet when the defender's trying to go low, and he'll track the defender down to about chest level, lower his pads, and cleave their head right off.
That's what Carson Wentz did at that school too. That's how they play over there.
Yeah, and he has the size, and let's hope he has the fitness. It seems like he does in it, but let's hope he also has the toughness. So far, seems like he does. Hopefully the 49ers fitness program makes some changes because this is a guy who's going to need to get in an ice bath.
Yeah, that's why to me has more in common with Josh Allen than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's just cowboy mentality. He's like a gunslinger. Yeah.
Now, the one thing I want to say, like, I from what I've seen with Trey Lance, while he does air it out and he does have some wild plays on film, he'll throw down the field. His mentality is that of a game manager. He likes checking it down. He'll throw the ball away. He's very mature, and I think Mahomes and Allen are super aggressive. I think Lance is going to be very mature, almost like a Russell Wilson in that sense.
That's a really good point, actually, and I think that his chemistry with Mohamed Sanu, we're not even going to classify it as just his chemistry with Sanu, but his chemistry with a slot receiver or his third receiver. First off, this team, your checkdowns can go to people like Kyle Juszczyk, and that is something I want to see. I want to see Kyle Juszczyk get to the second level like 5 or 6 times a game. I mean,
me too.
Yeah, I mean, that Steelers game, right? Yeah. Minkah Fitzpatrick is the proud owner of the most unmanly, embarrassing missed tackle in human history. Do you remember when Kyle Juszczyk picked him up with one hand? And none of my friends who play football believe that. I've had to show them that GIF image. He picks him up with one hand and throws him.
Minkah Fitzpatrick's a great player. That just shows you how good Kyle Juszczyk is.
He's so tough, and he's got good hands. And I think that Trey Lance will bring this into Kyle Shanahan's scheme a little bit more. I hope that Kyle is actually considering that. I'm sure he is. But I think that Trey Lance is going to, like you said, the check down is going to be huge. And it will open up the field for Ayuk, and it will open up play action and things like that and reverses to people like Deebo Samuel.
Nice. Absolutely.
I wouldn't mind seeing Emmanuel Sanders, honestly, with his quarterback option. and maybe pull a couple of those plays, because with Trey Lance and Emmanuel Sanders, somewhere like that, that would be lethal.
Someone throwing the ball deep to Lance. Yeah.
It would be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool. All right. Well, the moral of the story is the Niners ended up with Trey Lance, and he might just be the perfect quarterback for them. I just think it's funny how they ended up with him. I mean, they had to pass on some greats to get here. So this is what,
in about 5 years, we're talking about his 2 Super Bowl wins, and we were like, yeah, I'm glad we passed on Mahomes. Winning cures everything.
That's true.
Regrets.
That's true. V Breezy says, do you think we should just excuse Jimmy's record? I don't know exactly what you mean by that.
I think I do.
Okay.
So he doesn't mean his winning record, because there's nothing to excuse.
Yeah.
I think he means the missed games as well. Should we excuse that Jimmy Garoppolo? I think maybe Breezy is attaching the losses we've taken when he's not on the field to Jimmy's name.
Yeah.
And perhaps that's what he means, or
that's
she
fair.
means. But I think that's what it is. At this point, I don't think it's worth dwelling on.
Yeah.
But Jimmy doesn't want to be injured. He doesn't want to be injured. He wants to be out there winning a Super Bowl. And that's about all I can say on that.